Good morning, everybody. John here with FNP Wargamers, and this is the FNP Morning Show. Hope you all are having a nice Wednesday morning. I imagine most of you, at least here in the U.S., are experiencing some temperature variations of some slight or major deviancy than what we're normally used to. In fact, I think there's some parts of the U.S. right now that is the lower 48 is colder than Alaska. Yeah, Anchorage, Alaska, I think was like 30 degrees today. There are some parts of the U.S. right now that are around 19 degrees. That's how effed up the weather is right now. I'm not going to get into global warming because it's not the actual warming. It's not like we get hot. I'm not going to go into it. A lot of people get global warming wrong. And especially when they're trying to argue against it, and I'm not going to go into it. I would love to. So, what are we going to talk about this morning? I put down Echoes of the Future. Oops. And something else. Gosh darn it. I just put my hand in my bagel, and now I got butter and peanut butter, or not peanut or butter, but peanut butter all over my hand. What the heck? I need to see what I put down for the show. I apologize. I've got my script here, but I didn't put down the name. And you'd think that I would remember because I'm the one who did this. So we're going to talk about what's coming for the future. I'm also going to talk, I'm hoping, during, Echoes of the Future. Oh, that's just it. Echoes of the Future. Cool. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm hoping, since Games Workshop has started this whole 10 a.m. News drop or feature drop, I'm hoping that Warhammer community will get an update so we can talk about it right away instead of me coming back to a later on evening show and going, hey guys, guess what happened today? And you've already read it like 9 hours prior. So I'm hoping it will have actually a live update. So let's get into the other content. Let me just refresh one more time here just to see if there's an update. No, there's not. Let's talk about a couple things. So last night, after doing an interview with TJ and David over at the FN Pro team and their experiences, not only with SoCal, but with the Warzone Atlanta, and then also answering a lot of questions that some of you have had, you've sent in to us. And so it was a pretty good experience overall. And it was very insightful, even for me. Like I've said before, I've been playing this for years. And so, I got a little bit extra insight. So I'm not too old to learn new tricks. It looks like my camera might be a little blurry. Let me find something to clean off that lens. Sorry about that. Just realized that it happened last night as well. Let's see if I can do this without getting this in my coffee. Excuse me 1 second. See if we can clear that up. Ooh. Okay, better. Sorry about that, folks. So, what did I learn from that? Well, I learned a couple things that I've done wrong in regards to playing this game or any game and going to the competitive scene. And so I decided, this is the Echoes of the Future part, that I believe we should be doing some videos, and not only videos, but live chats with not only the FN Pro teams, but many of you out there, our fans, our supporters. Start getting you guys on these live updates now that we can do it through Discord and sit there and discuss not only the state of the meta, but how we should tackle issues. Like I feel a little ashamed, not because of the content or the nature of what I admonished a group for their behavior. I am ashamed, or I regret I made it personal when I was trying to get across a very important point about teamwork, camaraderie, and stop being negative and whatnot. And so let's call it my attack of the subject was poorly executed, but the content, the nature, the substance of the attack still holds up. It's still a solid reasoning my choice of words or the way I kind of went around it and then came at it. I hit it from the flank and then I came at the front. And so I didn't execute it the best way, but the very core essence of it, and actually the vast majority of it, my opening salvo was bad, but the nature of what I said was good. So it got me thinking, how can I translate over into some videos? How can I translate this over to the community? So I think we're going to do some videos in there about having this, how we can improve ourselves in the hobby and gaming, and maybe tackle a lot of those bad habits that gamers across the board, you could be playing RPGs, computer games, tabletop games, since this is our main focus, and life in general, and how when we're combating this, it will not only affect our gaming nature, but our day-to-day nature. So I'm going to do some research. I'm going to look at these videos starting next week. I want to actually get some actual scientific or peer-reviewed articles that can help support this, and do some excerpts and basically take the psychology. For those of you who don't know, my major was in psychology. I graduated with a degree in psychology, and I'm looking to go towards a master's. And this is a very strong and a very important field for me. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for me to flex that learning, the 4 years of learning, plus all the years as a criminal investigator, where I got to understand the human nature. And the human nature is really messed up. But I got a good example of it, and then combined with a higher education learning, I think I'm going to actually apply this here. I think we might be able to get a good outcome, or at least spark a nice debate about the state of gaming in general. And this won't be targeting any game in particular, because it really happens across all games, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons, Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40,000, probably Marvel Crisis Protocol that drops this week. So there's a lot that we can tackle deal with if we get rid of some of these bad gaming habits. So that is what I'm going to be talking about probably next week. It's going to take a little bit of research, because I want to be able to put up, like I said, peer-reviewed articles and have some citations and go, well, combine this with this is how we're getting this. It's still going to be generalized, because not everybody is the same, but the sentiment, the very core nature of these videos will still apply across the board. If you are a laid-back, happy-go-lucky guy, and you don't blame your dice, you don't blame this, don't blame that, or you're a gal that takes responsibility for all your actions and don't put the blame on anybody else, you know what? Then that videos might not be helpful for you. They might not be good. They might not even be of interest, but I would still recommend watching it, because you might be able to come back to those people that are like that and go, you know what? John had this super insightful videos that kind of describe what you're going through, and this might help you. So, you know what? I want to help the community, because the community's given to me, I've given to the community, and I'm more in the giving mentality right now. So it's time to give back, even if it's just a small thing, and even if just one person likes the input and takes it to heart and changes something bad they've been doing as a gamer and enhances it, or they pass it on to somebody else, pay it forward. So who knows? I'm not saying I'm going to solve anything. I'm just want to do content, because I like doing content, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be on here rambling for 9 minutes about it while I'm still waiting for this update to happen. So that's one of the video series that I'd like to do in the very near future. While I've got you guys here in the first 10 minutes, let's go ahead and do a reveal. So I got screenshots sent to me via email, and once again, so I've started kind of backtracking my sources. If it comes from somebody that has not been 100% reliable, or it's not a direct GW corporate employee or anything like that, or Forge World employee, I'm now once I get pictures, I'm going to a number of top sites, top search sites, and verifying if they have that information first. If they have that information first, and it looks like they might have gotten it at the same time as I did, because that has happened before. They just scoop it before I get on and do my video, since I have a schedule and I'm not updating a blog every day, whatnot. So I'm going to start giving them credit where credit is due, which happened this morning. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due. And so these first images, when I got them, I was very happy, very excited, because we were talking yesterday, might be in the day before, I think it was yesterday, we were talking about the many possibilities that Sisters of Battle are going to have. We already know that they're going to have a number of new and upcoming, never before seen units. So, my speculation was Stern, maybe the Freighterist Militia. I don't think that they've had models. A variety of character models that we've never seen before. They've only been talked about in the lore or in the RPG over at Fantasy Flight Games when they had when you were able to play them, or now with Cubicle 7 and the Wrath and Glory RPG, you might be able to expand upon that. So I already hinted at a number of these type of characters, HQs and elite choices. Going to take a drink of coffee. Excuse me 1 second. Since I've switched over to this Dunkin' Donut style coffee, my mornings have been so good. Especially after I've been fighting off this, I've had an allergic reaction. You probably can't see too well here, but it's all red around my face here. I'm allergic to tomatoes. I know it's weird, but I love spaghetti. I love chili. So the past 4 days, I've had a variety of spaghetti and chili. And you're like, John, if you are allergic to this stuff, why would you eat it? Because my allergic reaction is mild, even though I'm having a little bit of chest pain. I could be having a heart attack. I'm not sure. I hope not, because that would really ruin my day. I've got painting projects. I got a painting commission I got to deal with. I'm going to be very upset if I am having a heart attack. But I think it's just allergic reaction. So last night I had a super spicy bowl of chili because I got a cold coming on. I might sound a little nasally. And it was my reward for a good workout. Made this ground turkey chili. I know it sounds kind of gross, but it was so good, so spicy, so good. I mean, like a water, like Niagara Falls down my face. I was sweating that much, but it's good. So, the payoff, or the payback, or the downfall or downside of that is I get red and puffy around my face, and I get a little bit of chest pain, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Anyway, so, to help compensate, to help kind of get me through this, I found that this Dunkin' Donut coffee, ground coffee, not like going to Dunkin' Donuts, but the ground coffee that I put in a Keurig machine, a little reusable cup, I really enjoy, and it makes me feel good. So let's get on to these images. I don't think anybody else has done videos for it, so I want to get this up there. So here's the first image. I should have sized this down. You know what? Let me hide this image. There we go. Sorry. Tease. So I'm going to blow this up as big as possible. Big picture. I know. John, that just looks like every other picture. But let's go ahead and point a few things out that you might not be paying attention to. So let me stretch my arms a little bit. So we see a whole bunch of Sisters of Battle. Yay, Sisters of Battle. And it looks like, since there's all these cherubs floating around, that the Sisters of Battle squad, that's going to probably be an upgrade. Every single one of them is going to be able to take. Probably every unit. It looks like probably like the tanks, everything else, you're going to be able to take a cherub. They're probably going to give you like a reroll or something. So yay, that's going to be really cool. Still no clear image if any of these are Celestian squads or Dominion squads, or even if those ladies are going to be in, let me verify something, whether they're even going to be in there. We're hoping they are. We probably aren't going to find out anything today. It's looking like we'll probably have the Chaos Space Marine first look today from Psychic Awakening 2, which comes out on November 29th, Black Friday, along with this box. But let's point out the things that people might not be paying attention to. So yay, Sisters. The Penitent Engine doesn't look like anything different. Seraphim all back there. Cool. So over here, this is the Exorcist tank. We saw that. They have a nice heavy bolter, which I think is a new option. I could be wrong, but it's almost like a Chimera, Imperial Guard Chimera, because it has that heavy bolter in the front, right? Cool. Then they got the dual Exorcist flamers, which I imagine are going to be like 12-inch range. Gosh darn it, excuse me. 12-inch range flamers, heavy flamers. Going to do lots and lots of damage. I also saw that another image where you can swap these suckers out for, at the very least, heavy bolters. So this could be pretty much a DACA Rhino, and they probably have like a 6+ invulnerable save if it's like everything else Sisters have had in the past. So cool. I'm happy about that. Exorcist tank. Getting the feeling that Exorcist tanks are going to be very important. So I've zoomed in earlier when I got these images. There's something right here, right above the second M, and the far back on the other side of the Seraphim, and behind this other squad that's back here. That is not a Seraphim. Don't know what it is, but there's a different model back there, very cleverly hidden. And there's other models back there we can't see. Looks like there's another Exorcist tank back there. So sounds like Exorcists are going to be the big push, the big things that you're going to want. And I know you're getting crazy that I have not covered 3 of the images that are kind of in the foreground or in the center front. So I mentioned, and I think we already knew that the Hospitaller, it was going to already be a model. It's going to be an HQ choice, probably an elite. I think it'll be an elite, very similar to an apothecary for Space Marines. And there she is, right there, front and center. Looks like she has a wounded Sister of Battle right there. She's reading from her book. They're not going to be pulling out the gene seed because Sister Battles don't have gene seed for various lore-related reasons. Cool. It's nice to see that model. And then down here in the front, next to this Sisters of Battle squad, so pretty much center of this image, is, at first I thought it was a Canoness, and it very well could be an alternate Canoness model. But it is very likely, since there's a bunch of scrolls, looks like she might be reading from a book. She's got the book back there. I'm pretty sure that this is one of the new HQ choices or elite choices, the Diagolas. And I could be pronouncing that wrong, but they're the ones that recite a whole bunch of scripture, whatnot. And they're also very good at translating and communicating. They're pretty much, they study language and lore, and that's pretty much what they're going to be. My guess is that she's going to be a buff. She's going to be very similar to a chaplain or a dark apostle. She's going to be something along that lines, to where she'll be able to boost and buff the rest of the army, or those within 6 to 12 inches, I imagine. So probably close to being a chaplain. Could be a quote unquote psyker. I know they won't have psychers unless they put unless they put the heretic saint Stern in there. They won't have a psyker, but they'll have their psyker-like abilities and chapter doctrine-like abilities. So I know you want me to talk about this other one right over here to the right, but we're going to finish up with this. So there's at least 2 of the new HQ choices. We knew that and technically, they have been seen before. I don't know if these are the never before seen units that they've talked about, but very likely they're going to couple this in, because we've never seen the plastic models of them. We never seen them as their own separate HQ or elite choice, as their own separate character with the character keyword. Excuse me. Something that's kind of frighteningly missing is we're not seeing Retributor squads or Celestian or Dominion. I don't suspect we're going to see those until 2020, because guys and gals, I need to tell you, I need to warn you, and I've already done it before, I'm going to do it again. This set that comes out on the 29th, Black Friday, that goes on pre-order this Friday, or this Saturday, the 16th, is going to be a limited, super limited run only. I talked to my rep. We're limited to X amount of quantities. I'm not going to tell you because I could get in trouble, but it's anywhere from 1 to maybe 30-ish that we can get. And then once they're gone, that's it. They're gone. They're not going to reprint this. You will not see, now listen to this, you will not see any new models for Sisters of Battle available for retail until 2020. So we don't know when that'll be. My guess, January, February. That way they could maybe near the end of February put out or end of January put out a nice strong release, and then kick off or end February, which is the end of their third financial quarter, end that strong. Or they might just do it in January and it'll be a nice strong quarter. I don't know. Start of the year. I don't know. So let me get rid of this so we can talk about this. So this is definitely a new model, definitely, and I am in love with it. I don't even know what to say about it, except that it reminds me of that war pulpit that is in Horus Heresy. I'm going to see if I can pull that up in the background while we're talking about this, and also refresh the community page to see if there is anything new. So there is I'm just calling it the war pulpit. In the Horus Heresy, the Adeptus Mechanicus could have it essentially is, let's see if I can find it. Their main character could ride around on this pulpit. See if I can pull up the image, because it's really cool, and it really, benefit-wise, it really made your character super tough. Here we go. All right, I'll pull this image up here in a moment. I want to keep this image right here front and center. So what I like about this is that there's all sorts of modeling things. If I don't even use this model, there are so many things I could use that for. That just that double eagle alone is badass, or bad butt. I don't. This is going to be up on YouTube. I got to watch my language because of the ridiculously crazy new standards that we have to abide by, or our channel will just get arbitrarily shut down. Yeah, so I got to watch my language. I think I'm allowed to say ass. There's other words I can't say, so I'm gonna have to curb my language. So this thing reminds me of, you know what, I can pull this front and center. Here's the war pulpit. It's not called a war pulpit, but it's a Archmagos, and I believe he's on it. It's called an aberrant. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'll scroll back up there in a second. Abeyant is what the name of this thing is. So it reminded me of that, and a lot of actual artwork that you could find in the Sisters of Battle and the Inquisition type books, where you would see somebody on a pulpit and have a whole bunch of dangly cables. So that's what it reminds me of. Very religious related. It's got weapons. This one's doesn't float. It looks like it might just crawl around. But let's get beyond this. We don't want to talk about this right now. Still no update. I don't know what's going on with you, Games Workshop, while you're dragging your feet. But let's get back to this image. So, could this be a new Living Saint model? We were talking about that yesterday. I know, Phelps. Watch out. So we were talking about that the other day, that is a possible new character. There is going to be a generic Living Saint, very similar to the like a Satan Shard. You might be seeing this as a possible option. Could be a new character. This could be Ethereal Stern now. I doubt it, but this could very well be just a new generic character. This could be an upgrade that they could take. Who knows? But I like that it has, and I'm assuming, because it looks like they got little nozzles down there on the weapon, two twin-linked heavy flamers. So, and it probably has an invulnerable save, probably like a nice 4-up invulnerable save, high toughness. Who knows what's going to have. I don't know what that staff is. Is that like a sensor? Is that a big beat stick? Is that an iron halo that she's got dangling from her top of her head? I don't know, but it is awesome looking. This is probably one of the most, this model right now is very captivating for me. I want it bad. And now that I'm also looking at kind of a blown up image over here, that earlier image, I'll see if I can bring that up. This gal right here to the left, we can kind of see right here more, she's got a whole bunch of dangly stuff. So she probably is that new character type. Well, she's gone from the retinue that used to be to being a probably an HQ or an elite choice. My bet is an elite choice, the Diagonalists, and should probably be a nice buff. So I don't know what this gal is. I am definitely going to be looking. Full credit to my source, who wants to be, not be named, and credit to Lady Atia over on her page for scooping and getting this out there first. I really wish I would have a website that I could put these pictures up on at first thing in the morning, or maybe get up at whatever 7 a.m. their time is, and which I think is I think that's like 3 in the morning. Not gonna do that. I think that's like 7 hours. We're 7 hours ahead. So I'm just pretty much screwed, and I just have to do this day after. It's still fine. It gives me something to talk about. So really cool. I'm excited, super excited. There are some badass things coming for Sisters of Battle, and we've barely scratched the surface. We've got 3 new models there that we can now confirm. It looks like there's another one back here above the second M of the Warhammer logo. When I zoomed in earlier, it looked like it. I could totally be wrong because there's a lot of overlapping images there. In fact, I think I am wrong now that I'm looking at. You know what? Let's do this. Let's see if I could zoom in anymore. Sorry about this. Yeah, I think I'm wrong. It looks like something else, but it looks like there might be new terrain coming. So really excited about this. Not excited that Games Workshop the Warhammer community page has been dragging its feet on its releases, because probably by the time I'm done with this video, they are going to do a release. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Part of those future episodes that I want to do for y'all, not only about having the positive mentality and the benefits of it, and kind of changing, reshaping how you tackle the hobby, how the benefits that'll apply to your day-to-day life, not only your hobby life, but I want to also do one to highlight a lot of useful things that you can be doing in preparation for your hobby project, your going to a tournament, whether it's a local RTT or whatever game you're playing, whatever that relates to, or you're going to a big grand tournament or a major for like Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, they've got their majors, or you're going to the big granddaddy of them all, either the London GT, which is growing, but it's like a third or a quarter, probably about a quarter the size of the Las Vegas Open that's held in the first of the year, every year in Las Vegas. And it's just a wonderful event to go to. A little costly, but it is like the end-all, be-all events for tournament play. Now, if you're wanting an experience with the whole gaming convention experience, either Gen Con, or if you just want to stick to your miniature games, take a bunch of painting classes and get on some previews and stuff like that, and all the shenanigans that go on at actual convention, but not with 50,000 people, you have Adepticon. And that is besides going to Warhammer World over in the UK, Adepticon is on my bucket list of my holy places to go, my gaming meccas. Gen Con is on there as well. So why am I bringing this up? Well, one of the things I wanted to bring up, I saw over on full credit to Spiky Bits. I know it's a clickbaity site, but they do have some good information. A lot of the times it's just rinse and repeat of what's on the Warhammer community page as I update again to see if anything happens. Nothing has happened. So I saw this. So if you have a problem and you're like, man, I don't know what you're doing, I don't know what special ability you're talking about, and I'm going to put this in the description whenever I upload the video, and I'll actually update the video, the YouTube video. So if you guys, or not YouTube video, but both the YouTube video and the Twitch video library, I'll put the link in the description, and that way you guys can see it. So what I thought about this was really cool, and just all you do is follow the link that I give you. So I could be at a tournament, I'm like, god dang it, I don't know what I'm facing, I don't know what to expect, but my opponent is running, for some reason, Dark Angels. Cool, Dark Angels, all special abilities that they have, these are all like the FAQ updates. So okay, cool, thank you. Well, I don't care about, there's no sub-faction. What special abilities does it have? Oh, you're talking about, let's see here, aura abilities. What aura abilities do they have in the fight phase. Okay. Oh, I think I have to put, there's no subfaction, selection ability to bonus actions. So it'll go through and it'll highlight all their special abilities. This Dark Angels might be a bad one. Let's do instead Adeptus Custodes. Adeptus Custodes, bonus action. Let's see here. Invulnerable. There we go. And any phase. There we go. So, and your guy's like, oh, I've got the special ability called whatever. You can actually type in the name. You can see all their special abilities, all the FAQ updates. It is a nice, clean way to go through and essentially just figure out what your opponent is doing. You might have, let's see here, like Imperial Fist. Sorry, I'm looking at a whole bunch of things here. Warlord traits, that's a perfect example. Warlord traits, select a source. Aura ability, select a phase. Let's say the shoot phase. There we go. And it's going to pull up all the special abilities that they can do. So it's just a way that you have a pretty much a, let's say, bolter drill. Here we go. Bolter. I can just put bolter in. So it'll pull up all the different abilities, and I can sit there and read through it. It's basically kind of a streamlined way of looking at the rules. Or, of course, you can just ask your opponent, hey, dude, can I see the rule book? And don't be afraid, guys and gals, to ask your opponent to see the rule. Don't just assume that they're right. It doesn't make you a bad sportsman. It doesn't mean you're a jerk. It doesn't mean you're slow playing. But if you don't know a rule, don't just accept that they're right. Take a look at it and look through it. Go, oh, okay, yeah, I understand now. Thank you for that. Go for it. Or it says, yes, you can do this ability, but it's the fight phase, not the shooting phase. See, it says melee, and you're in the shoot phase. You can't do it. Sorry, man. So do something else or re-roll those dice, whatever. It doesn't make you a bad player. It actually makes you a good player, and you just gave them a little bit of information. They might be a little grumpy because you shut them down with their gotcha moment, but you're helping them, you're helping the community, and it always comes down to how you are coming off. You're like, dude, no, that's not how you do it. This is bull crap. Let me see your rule book. You're going to create some hostility that's going to kind of bleed over. So the best bet is to just be nice. Just be nice and ask. It's not going to hurt. So I don't know what the F is going on. I'm very upset with Warhammer community page because I was trying to keep this video down nice and short, and I'm going to have to do an afternoon video, probably 3 p.m. I'm leaving work early again today to get stuff done. So you know what? Let's just look at a 3 p.m. video and do the afternoon show, because Games Workshop, Warhammer community page, and their Facebook page has been really dropping the ball, especially North America. It's like I don't know what's going on. They're really behind schedule on everything, and that's really not good for business. There must be a huge data dump today, and I know at the very moment that I end the stream, they're going to be like, hey, guess what? Here's all your exciting new information. And I'm going to be really upset because everybody else is going to get the scoop. And I'm going to be like, hey, guys, they got these awesome updates that you watched some videos on about 4 hours ago. So I'm just going to highlight those. Yeah. So on that, let me go ahead and end this show. Get ready to end this show. My bagels are cold. My coffee is a little cold. So before I go to work, we'll end this. Coming up next week, we'll be starting some new videos that are going to be centered around how to be better at the hobby, how to be better at gaming, better yet, instead of saying how to be better, because we're already really good, we really enjoy what we're doing, how to avoid those bad practices, those bad behaviors that we have, whether it's a tiny one, or we think it's a good one, but everybody else is like, dude, Todd, that's annoying, stop it. That's what those videos are going to be about starting next week, and they'll be actually live, so if you guys want to interact and ask questions about it following this, I'm going to actually be digging into a couple medical sites for psychology. That is my degree, by the way, just so you know. I'm just not some hack that's going to be looking at psychological peer-reviewed articles and going, oh, so, whatever, how people are with WebMD, it's like, oh, I got this headache, and son of a gun, what did they just do? Those monsters. They just updated stuff. So, it wasn't a big update, so I see what they're doing. I told you if I waited long enough. So this just popped up right here, Adeptus Sororitas rules preview and Purging Heretics. It looks like that's going to be the headers for their upcoming videos. So let me get back to what I was saying, why I give them a chance to update with today's videos. So basically, I'm just going to get some peer-reviewed articles to back up the advice I'm going to be giving to fix bad habits, and that you may or may not have, or maybe you know somebody that does, and you can convey to them or point them toward videos. Hey guys, there's some bad habits that I've seen you do that I do. Watch this video. You might learn something that might help you out and get you over that hump that you are having a hard time doing. Maybe you can come up with a better way of saying, hey dude, stop being a jerk. Gotta watch my language. Stop being a jerk. Watch this video. Correct yourself before somebody else, just before people don't want to play the game with you. Whatever the best way. I'm going to recommend, honey over, something over salt. Honey over salt. You're going to really win them over. I know you might be tough guy or tough gal. Just use some honeyed words. Be polite. Be nice. Be a good sportsman. Be a good friend. And try to help them out. And that's what we're going to do. All next week, we're going to do that. So tonight, I'm going to be doing an afternoon show because I'm going to have to because I'm running out of time. I was really holding on by by a thread here that they would update the page today or before I had to go do my go to work. But they're just not doing it. It's driving me crazy. So I'm going to do a 3 o'clock show. It'll be going over probably what you guys will read during lunch, or if you're off today, you're going to watch. Okay, cool. Nothing I could do about that. So I'll do a video on that, get to work, maybe take a nap. And then tonight's show is going to be our part 3 of our Infinity RPG overview. Tonight we're going to be going over how the rules how you play the rules with the rules, or everything that interacts with that. It won't be 100% page by page. I'm going to try to keep that video down to about a 45 minute video because I want to keep your attention and show off as much as I can with the rules. And this will be the core version of the rules, basically what you can get in the player's handbook, and is also highlighted in the quick start guide. In fact, the quick start guide rules is what I'm going to be copying and pasting and creating a nice slideshow for you guys as I walk you through it. So it'll be about 30-45 minutes, probably about close to the 45 minutes. I'm trying to avoid the hour. And then Thursday we'll be doing another evening video, and that will be, I believe that'll start covering some of the current faction books that are out that you can play. So essentially think of them as codexes. So if you want to play this codex as a character, this codex as a character, this is that's what these faction books are about. Sorry, I'm hearing bells ring. Really weird. So, okay. I'm going to have to go. Warhammer community page is just being a jerk. They're not giving me my update. And maybe I've gotten a little privilege going on there. I expected them at 9 a.m. And then this past week, they've been doing these 10 a.m. ones. And now it is 20 till 11, Central Time, and they're still not updating today's latest news and features. It's going to happen probably in the next 20 minutes. Probably the time I get to work, they're going to update it, and I am going to probably flip a table. And I've got a lot of tables at work. So I'm going to go. Sorry for dragging on. Watch for today's afternoon show at 3 p.m. I know we normally don't do it, but at least for the rest of this month, I'm going to be doing afternoon videos. It's just a little project, just to flex some of my streaming abilities and my creating overlays. Just not flex, but test out. Tonight, we'll have the video concerning Infinity RPG. Tomorrow morning, of course, our normal video. And like I said, next week, there will be a nice new video series that I'll be doing in the mornings. Might not be live stream. I might be just doing a pre-recorded one and uploading it. We'll see. We'll see how that works. So with that said, one last refresh. And gosh darn it, I tried, guys and gals. I tried. I wanted to be able to pass that information and discuss it with you, but you're going to have to wait till 3 p.m. So if you want to wait until 3 p.m. to hear about what's the latest news and features for Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Everything Games Workshop, I would appreciate that. I'll see you at 3 p.m. Central Time. Have a good day. Stay warm, and I'll